So I wanted to highlight my experience with semen retention, and I've been trying to stack it over the month. So in a month, I probably had 3 days where I've lost, and I'm gonna continue. And I've just found, like, sure, the woman. I started it like obviously like a lot of people trying to understand like, oh, how is this gonna help me interact with women? But oh, this journey is actually mad. My advice to people is that you just need to start. That's it. Don't even think about it. Just start. Because if there's nothing to it, then you won't find any benefits, and you just stop, right? If it's that easy. But that's where it starts. And you gotta have this clear mindset about it, that you are doing it, and you have a purpose for doing it, not just willy-nilly. And then you can get to the larger purpose afterwards. But you've got to realize, like, you need to retain your energy for yourself so that you can put that energy into the things that you like and want to do. And if you're always releasing, you're just going to have a lot of shame. You're not going to be able to look people in the eyes. And you gotta understand that, like, most men are like this. If you try and pay attention energetically, a lot of men are just releasing all the time. And they'll tell you about it, and you'll see some people who are sleeping with people all the time. They just look drained. People look drained. I'm ill, and I think I look more vital than most people now. So, but you gotta understand. You need to understand transmutation. My last video was about transmutation. You need to get that sexual energy and you transmute it into things in your life. Like me right now, I'm transmuting it unconsciously right now in a way to make YouTube video. But before, I would, in my depleted states, making a video would be so difficult. Obviously, just the nature of the matter, doing something in repetition makes it easier, but you gotta see it that way. Like, controlling lust is the same thing. So this is a lot. This would be a long video if I explained everything, but I'm going to try and go through a few points. First is, one step is like, get rid of Instagram. Get rid of socials, get rid of TikTok. You can download it again if you want, right? But for the most part, just delete them. Whenever you want to use them again, just let yourself sign in. Create those frictions. Use the web browser versions. And then you realize, like, the more friction you create and the harder it is to get to the apps, you realize, like, once you get in the app, it's like there's nothing there. Before, it was easy to go on, so there's not much thought. But now, because you have friction in between, you're like, it's even worse signing in. So, because a For You page will, if you're a man and you're whatever age, it's a lot to go into, we already know, but there's deeper levels to it. But they will attack you with certain videos, they will attack you with certain things, and they will hook others because that's how the algorithm works. And so they will start monopolizing on getting attention and likes and views using those methods, and the guys will do the same, and then it just becomes this giant empire of lust. And we've seen it in the fitness industry, we've seen it in the stretching industry, we've seen it in every industry now. Like, online, when it comes to short form content, lust is very prevalent. Even it started going towards YouTube with Sidemen videos and stuff. So we have to understand, we've been misled. We need to understand that we're not this kind-hearted and peace-loving thing that we have been taught to be as men. We do have the capacity for lust. Sure, we all have the capacity for sin. It's just ours are more out there in a sense. It's very hard to explain. Not justifying it, not just explaining. So the see, this is the thing. With each of these sins, let's say you suffer with lust specifically, or let's say you suffer with it in general, because you will if you're a human being. If you overcome certain, like the harder something is to overcome, the more reward is at the other end of it. So for me personally, I've been breaking down greed, I've been breaking down slothfulness, I've been breaking down all the other sins, wrath, and I found, yes, the other ones extremely difficult, like mind-numbingly difficult, but I just got through it, and I'm lean, I am healthy, other than being ill for pushing myself too hard, and all these things are stacked up because I've been breaking down the other sins with the Lord, thank God. And now I'm breaking down lust, and lust for some people, especially in recent times, you have boys finding porn very young, and that hooks the brain. We know this. Hooks the brain, creates insane, deep, rich, rigid patterns that turn people towards incel culture, and that's why it's so prevalent. And that's why, if you look around us, actually, you might be seeing a lot more men suffering. The gap between, the high achieving men and men not achieving anything is quite big now. And if you can't, you have to understand the system of it to navigate it, and you can't understand the system of it if you're giving your life energy to it because you're getting pleasure from it. So you gotta understand that it's, yes, something that it's a demonic parasitical activity, or demonic parasite, whatever you like to call it, that prevents you from communicating with God because it puts you in a cycle of shame. And shame makes you feel like you're not good enough, makes you feel like you are your bad habits, you are your desires. But that's not true. You were born of innocent nature. You came from the Lord, you'll go back to the Lord. You came from the universe, you'll go back to the universe. You came one way, you'll go back another way. Right? So, and we can read the Bible, and it says many things, right, about our nature. And in general, I'd say I'm not going to validate or justify my religious claims, because in my opinion, the people who are opposed to it or don't understand, no amount of explanation will validate it for them, because they want to live in a falsity of freedom and a lack of responsibility. And the journey of semen retention and the journey of the Lord, finding a way to the Lord, is one of accountability and responsibility. Is to not be a liar, to not commit the actions that we don't want to have and to do, and to be, to not be certain things, right? Because we become things through repeated actions, good and bad. So we should see it that way, right? It's just one may be a bit more difficult to turn to. But again, doing streaks, turning your phone off, creating friction, putting it in the bathroom, not using it at night, not using it during the day, finding other ways to get alarms, and relying on your natural body clock. Sometimes I would rather wake up and miss everything in my life, personally. I've not done that, but then to rely on my phone, which then I'll wake up to and then immediately open Instagram or go to some sort of whatever, right? And again, I'm getting a bit vulnerable here, but a lot of men struggle with it. I don't know how often, I don't see the stats, I don't see an anecdote, people don't talk about it, but I literally had someone come to me today telling me that they were struggling with lust. So I've made a lot of changes, but it's about transmutation. If you feel any lustful desire, don't see it as a this is wrong, I should be ashamed of this. See it as it's just energy wanting to release. And sometimes release is not necessary, it's not important. Sometimes it's good to just take that into something else until you're tired. Let's say you keep putting that energy and transmute it, you go days and days and days and days and you're just transferring that energy. Watch what happens, man. Just stop now, don't do anything. Transmute that energy. Just keep going, in the present moment. Just don't count the minutes, don't count the hours, don't look at that shit. You might want to track the days a bit, I guess. But don't think about it that way. Just start using your energy towards things. You'll find in the first few days of like intentional transmutation, you'll just start doing things for the sake of doing it because you have so much energy. I just go to the grocery store like 3 times. I work out like twice. I go on a run, and then later on in the day I compliment a girl just because she's pretty to me. And the thing is, when you desensitize yourself to the internet, when you desensitize yourself to your phone and to porn and to these things, you become enamored by normal women, as in any woman, because they're a woman, if that makes sense. Like, just they're a woman. And then, because you realize and you're energetically understanding your place compared to them, you act differently. You don't treat them like everyone else because you understand. I'm not saying I didn't understand this before, but like all these things, they are multiplied under a retention streak. So I think I've been touched more by women in this last month than I have in like a very long time. Or like, yeah, man, it's because it's not about that. It's not about these things. It's about retaining your energy, putting it to practice into your own life so that you're confident, because you are doing things that make you competent. And if you're competent, you are naturally confident, okay? So I'm gonna keep going, see what happens, but you know, like my eyes are clearer, I have more of a glow to me, and I feel like I'm living in my body a bit more, and I'm praying constantly. I'm saying, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, forgive me, constantly. And that's not changed, but there's more weight to it because I'm stacking these things, and then fasting, and then healthy eating, and then disciplining my body and disciplining my mind. These are all stacking, but you don't have to do all of it, but it's just like things you can attack. But this semen retention will make all those things easier. I'm not like, sometimes you have to do other things to get to this point. I had to do everything else, then get to this point. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm ill. Oh, I did. But look, I'm ill, but I have, in my opinion, if you watch some of my old videos, I'll look drained. But I have a glow to me, even though I'm ill. But yeah, keep up the streaks. Do not look at any content. Do not. It's just no point. It's just. What's the fucking point, bro? There's literally, after 4 seconds of good feeling, sometimes not even good. But yeah, I just started getting more sensitive and just started paying attention more, look at people in the eyes more. And it's just a different feeling, man. And it's like a high in itself. Like, you just don't feel the desire and need for anyone. You've been fasting, you know, fasting from even consuming people lustfully by looking at them. Because I've practiced a lot now, just not even looking at certain women. Just don't look at them. Don't give them time of day. because even me looking at them and perceiving their beauty is me consuming them. And how many times are they used to being consumed? So, and sometimes they would rather be perhaps consumed in a way by someone that they respect, and that's okay in a small way. But there's levels, like when you start focusing on yourself and using the energy for your own benefits, you naturally become radiant to other women because you're confident in yourself and your body, and you have more energy to spare to just get around the world. I can completely and totally understand if you have high testosterone. I feel like I do at this point. Bloody hell. Like how people would conquer whole countries. I get it. So it's just that modern men don't have that same discipline. It's not necessarily their fault, but it's their responsibility, and it's to hold each other accountable, it's to talk to each other without shaming one another, because it's a very repulsive and it pulls you. It's not something that's easy to get out, and labeling people is not part of the answer. But a lot of these people are trying to pull other men out of the abyss. They haven't done the work themselves, and they're drained themselves. And so when I go out, and even like 1 day retention, I can tell like most men have already released their seed today, because I was one of those, and I thought it wasn't a big deal. You wake up, you have your raging pen energy, and you just release it, bro. Because just like you don't value it. But now it's like, why would I do that? And I would watch all these people doing it, but it's like you have to go. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. The streak has to keep continuing. And if you fail, get up, get it, do it again. If you fail, get up, do it again. Make yourself get into social environments. Start talking more to family members and individuals in your life, and become vulnerable to them. And because you are, and the childlike nature of you that will get you into heaven is on the other end of that, and it's not on the end of a lustful behavior, because lustful behavior will turn you into the devil pretty much. So yeah, I'll pray for all of you guys. You guys pray for me, and we're in it together. Trust me, it's not just a male thing, it's a male, female. We just lust in different ways. So yeah.